Okay, now we're going to be pouring plates. You can see I'm still trying to get my Ravenous into solution. Can you see what I'm doing here? There it is. Still trying to get my Ravenous into solution, and I'll be shaking this for a while. It's getting there. It takes some time. And we're going to be pouring plates, and one of the things about pouring plates that we need to do, we need to label them before we go anywhere. So I'm going to cut these tops off very carefully with some scissors. Here. You'll notice as I cut the tops off, I leave the bags. I don't destroy them or anything. I'm going to use these bags in a minute, or reuse them. Just cutting off the tops of these bags of plates. That's one. Whoops. Here's the other one. Okay. Alright. So what I need is 16 plates that are LB, which stands for Luria Broth. And by that, what I mean is it's just the agar, no other components to it. Okay. In other words, it is a growth medium for these bacteria, so they can live, thrive, and survive. So I need 16 of these. So we'll actually probably cut these numbers in half because this is a home one and you're not actually doing it, so we'll cut our numbers in half. So we'll do, instead of 16, we'll do 8 of our LBs. So to label our plates, can you still see? So to label the LB plates, this is a nice little trick that I use. The tops are bigger than the bottoms, and I'm just going to draw one line with my Sharpie. Okay, if you can see that, those are going to be my LB plates. I'm going to have a total of 8 of them, even though my instructions are saying, hey, make 16. But I know you all aren't here with me. I'm going to be the only guy doing this. So the one line means there's one thing in that plate, and in this case, that's going to be LB. I was going to do 16 of the LB amps as well, and that means it has both LB, Luria Broth, and it has ampicillin, which is an antibiotic. So that will be a selection factor. So the ones who have the ability to break down ampicillin will live, thrive, and survive. They're going to get that from the plasmid. They're going to get that ability or that gene. So we're going to do another 8 of these, and these will have 2 lines. My Sharpie's not amazing here. So I apologize for that. Get another Sharpie. But you'll notice on these plates, I'm going to draw 2 lines. 1, 2, 1, 2. You can see them. See those okay? 2 lines on these. You'll notice I'm being careful. That one was a fail, but I'm being careful to not open these. They came out of the bag sealed, and they're going onto my table sealed. So right now I have 2 kinds of plates. I have my 1-liners, which is the LB, Luria Broth. I have my 2-liners, which is the LB amp. And now I have what are called my 3-liners. And my 3-liners will have 3 different things. Now I could go through the trouble. Let me see these come over. Oops, just a bit. So these will be my 3-liners. They'll have 3 things in them. I could go through the trouble of writing LB, amp, and era on each of these. But that's going to take me a ton of time. So I'm just going to draw 3 lines on each. If I had a better Sharpie, I'd just drag it right down so that I knew I had 3 lines on each. and it'll be really, really quick, but my Sharpie's let me down here. So I think you can see there's 3 lines on that. 3 lines on those. So that means that'll have all 3 things. So we're about to pour our plates, and to pour them, we're going to start with the LB plates. The LB plates are going to have just laureate broth, and that is over here on my stirring hot plate, and it's in solution. You'll notice the temperature that I dialed in was 70 degrees. It's 70 because I want a nice cool broth. If I get it too cold, it will solidify. I don't really want to pour something that's solid because that's just not going to work. But I am going to pour a liquid, and so what you'll notice I'm doing, I think you can see it. Put this out of the way. What you'll notice I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on the side of my table. Sometimes corners are good and stay close. And again, I'm in my garage, but this is a really good product that these guys make. So it tends to work really well. So here's my flask of broth, or I'm sorry, of laureate broth agar. Pour a plate. I'm going to be a little generous on this plate. I'm going to end up having too much stuff because I cut this in half because it's just a virtual classroom. These should be done 3 to 7 days prior to your transformation work. So we're a little bit behind, but as long as they're solid, like a day should be fine. We'll start our transformation work tomorrow. All right, so what's in here now is just laureate broth. That's the only thing in that agar, right? So there's nothing, so anything that gets in here is gonna grow. Okay, it's gonna cover this back up. And so that's not necessarily a great thing. Especially where we're doing this in the garage. So as I look at these plates in a day or two, I want to make sure that there's nothing wrong with them. I'm going to let them sort of settle out. I'll put them over to the side here. The garage is not by any means an aseptic environment, but it's what I have for our APSI today. Okay, so the next thing we're going to add, I'm going to show you how I add it. These are our plates with 2 lines. That's going to be a source of contamination, perhaps. The next plates that we're going to pour are going to have 2 things, and they're going to, so that means they're going to have LB and ampicillin. Okay, so ampicillin and arabinose both, they don't do well in hot temperatures. And so one of the ways to make sure you don't have stuff that's too hot is to actually hold this in your hand. And if you can hold it here for a good amount of time, then you're gonna be okay. It's not so hot that it's gonna destroy your ampicillin. So I'm going to put it here on the bench top for just a minute. I don't want it to turn into a solid, but I do want it to cool down just a little bit more. And what I'm going to be adding to it is this ampicillin here. There you go. Okay. So again, I have 3 plates. I have LB, I have LB amp, and this is the one I'm making next. Okay. I want this to be beneath 60 degrees. Like I said, we're going to give this just a minute and we're going to come back and make another.